Join Kids Hut family. Hey, there you are. Hey Tofu, wait up. What's wrong with you? I have been waiting for you for so long, and here you are, just walking past me without even saying hi?
I'm sorry, Tia. I didn't mean to be rude to you. Sometimes I just can't understand my friends.
Okay, calm down and tell me what happened.
You know my friend Megan?
Yes, the shy one with the curly hair, right? The one who's always helping you out with class notes and assignments.
Yes.
Isn't she wonderful? I think you should also help her out sometimes.
Well, that's just what I did, Tia, and she is so upset with me now. She forgot her English assignment at home. So I did some of it for her and asked her to complete it and submit it. That's it. She got so offended. She hasn't said a word to me since then. And she won't answer me if I say something to her.
Oh, that's strange. But I don't think she is the only one who is uncomfortable with people try to help.
What do you mean?
Let me tell you the story of the shoemaker and the elves. Once upon a time, there lived an old shoemaker. He was an honest man, but with very limited money. He made really nice shoes, but could not earn enough for himself and his wife. One night, he was in his workshop when his wife came to him. What are you doing, dear?
I have this last piece of leather left. I am just cutting it out. We'll make a pair of shoes out of it tomorrow.
Is it the last piece? What will we do? There are no grains in the cupboard, no wood for the fire, and now no more leather.
Don't worry, my darling. Something will work out.
The old couple finished their housework, and before they went to sleep, the shoemaker put the leather on his workbench. The next morning, he got up early to make a pair of shoes out of the leather he had kept. To his surprise, instead of the leather, there lay a beautiful pair of shoes. He picked them up and observed them closely. They were made out of the same leather that he had put out the night before. He called his wife.
Dear, come, see this.
What a lovely pair of shoes! They are just perfect.
Yes, look at the stitches. They are so tiny and spaced so perfectly. But I didn't make them.
You didn't? Then who did?
I don't know. Why would someone help us like this?
I can't even think of anyone who can make such good shoes. You make the best shoes I have ever seen, and these are better than yours too.
I agree. Anyway, let us not get carried away. Let us put them in the display window and hope that we can get some money for them.
Just a few minutes after the shoemaker had put the shoes on the display, a wealthy merchant stopped outside his door. He paid a good sum for the shoes and bought them. The shoemaker was very happy. He went and bought food for the house. With the remaining money, he bought 2 pieces of leather. When it was night, his wife called out to him, "What are you doing? It's time for us to sleep."
Yes, dear. I am just cutting out these leather pieces so I can stitch them into shoes tomorrow.
The next morning, when the shoemaker and his wife came down to the workshop, they were surprised to see 2 new pairs of shoes on the table where he had kept the leather pieces.
Would you look at that? These shoes are even more beautiful than the first pair. Let me put them up for sale and thank whoever is helping us out.
Soon after, the shoemaker had put up the 2 pairs of shoes for sale. Other wealthy men of the town came and bought them. They paid a hefty price for them. The shoemaker bought more food supplies and leather from the money he got. Again that night, he cut the leather and kept it to stitch it in the morning. The next morning, he saw that the leather had been made into shoes again. And as soon as he put them up for sale, they were bought in exchange of good money. This went on for many days. The shoemaker started doing well. His business prospered and his shop would always be full with customers. One night, as they were closing the shop, the shoemaker had an idea.
I cannot stop thinking about those who help us. Why don't we hide behind the cupboard tonight and see who it is?
Yes, that's a brilliant idea. Let's hide and check out. After some time, they saw 2 elves enter the workshop through the crack in the window. They headed to the workbench and started making shoes from the leather kept there. Although they were making these lovely shoes for the shoemaker, they had no shoes on. They wore torn shirts and very thin tights. They did their work carefully and left through the window again.
Oh dear goodness, such kind elves they are. We must repay them.
Yes. When you go to the market tomorrow, get me some nice cloth. I will make clothes for our little helpers. The next day, the shoemaker got many fancy cloths and good leather, while his wife made beautiful clothes for the elves. He made soft shoes for them. When night fell, they placed the gifts for the elves on the table. They also laid out delicious food and treats for them. Then they hid behind the cupboard again and waited for the elves to return. When the elves came, they were overjoyed to see the gifts and the delicious food. They wore their new clothes ate stomachful and went on to make shoes for the shoemaker. Once they were done, they slipped out of the window.
I am so happy to see our little helpers happy.
Yes, and they looked so wonderful in their new clothes, didn't they?
Tonight, let's keep some more dinner ready for them. What do you think?
Yes, dear. That night, the shoemaker and his wife again kept dinner for the elves. But tonight, they did not hide behind the cupboard. Instead, they went to sleep. The next morning, when they came to the workshop, the shoemaker and his wife were disappointed to see that the dinner plates remained untouched. Even the leather that the shoemaker had cut out and put on the table remained as it is.
I wonder what happened to them.
Maybe they will come tonight?
Yes, let's hope so.
The shoemaker and his wife again kept the food for the elves, but were disappointed in the morning as the elves did not show up in the night. They waited for the elves many nights, but they never returned. Do you think they overheard us?
Perhaps they did. Elves are very shy creatures. They usually like to be left alone.
What will happen to the shop now?
Oh, it will be fine. I will miss my little helpers, but I will manage.
The shoemaker went back to making the shoes himself. His shop continued to prosper, but he and his wife always remembered the elves and remained thankful to them for their help. So you see, Tofu, some people are willing to help but are too shy to take help from others.
Yes, Tia, I understand now.
Also, it doesn't mean that you have to be angry with them. You can be thankful to them in your heart.
Thank you, Tia. If you wouldn't have shared this with me, I think I would have lost a very good friend. Now, when Megan tells me she doesn't want my help, I will respect that more.
Good to know that. Now let's go home. I am very hungry.
Wow, Tia, you were so brave.
Thanks, Tofu. Will you please take care of the bird while I go and change?
Yes.
Did you save this little bird, young man?
Yes, I did.
That's very good of you. You are a brave boy. While we take care of the little bird, can I tell you all a little story?
Yes, we want a story.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess. One day, her mother, the queen, told her that she had fixed her marriage with a prince. The son of our friend, King of Shazam, is a wonderful prince. You will be very happy with him. You must leave for Shazam immediately to meet the king and the prince. Take your maid with you and take this handkerchief. Anytime you feel confused, keep it close to your heart and you will know what to do.
Yes, Mother.
The princess set forth for her journey with her maid. But on the way, the maid changed her behavior entirely. I refuse to serve you anymore. Now onward, you will be my maid and I will be the princess. And if you tell anyone about this, you will be cursed. Give me your clothes and possessions right now. The princess was gentle-hearted and so she agreed. As tears rolled down her cheeks, she wiped them with her mother's handkerchief. Suddenly, it spoke to her.
If the queen were to know of the maid's behavior, she would be heartbroken.
Hence, the princess decided never to tell anyone about her true identity and went along as a maid to Shazam. When they reached Shazam, the maid decided to get rid of the princess. I do not need my maid anymore. You can assign her some other job. The minister assigned the princess to work on a geese farm with a man named Kurtkin. It was her job to take care of the geese. The princess learned everything about her job and became a very good goose girl. One day, Kurtkin and the princess got into a fight. And Kurtkin went to complain about her to the king. I do not wish to keep the goose girl. She is horrible and strange things happen around her all the time.
Is that so? Let me investigate this matter myself.
The king started following the princess. He noticed that she was a sincere and sweet girl, and there was nothing wrong with her. He also thought there was extreme sadness about her, so he decided to talk to her.
Dear girl, is there a secret close to your heart?
Yes, Your Majesty, there is. But alas, I cannot share it with anyone because no one should know about it.
Why don't you tell it to the big boulder over there? It can't tell anyone anything. The girl agreed and told the boulder everything. But she didn't know that the king was hiding behind the boulder and heard everything. The next day, the king went to the court and summoned the maid and told her the story of the princess and the maid and asked her, "What punishment would be fit for such a maid?" The maid did not realize that it was her own story and came up with the hardest punishment. "Such a person should be flogged and sent away from the kingdom forever, Your Majesty." Correct. Guards, take this impostor away. She has been living amongst us as a princess, while the real princess has been toiling as a goose girl. Flog this liar and banish her from the kingdom. The guards immediately grabbed the maid and took her away. That night, the king threw a gala ball and celebrated the real princess as his son's wife-to-be. That is a very good story. Thank you. What do you think, Tofu?
You are right, Tia. People who take up another person's identity are wrong. I'm sorry, everyone. I lied to you all. It was Tia who saved the little bird, not me.
Thank you for telling the truth, Tofu. Yes, thank you for telling the truth. It was very brave of you.
Hey, Tia. What are you doing?
I'm meeting the new school principal tomorrow, so just putting my things in order.
Oh, you want to impress him, is it?
I'm not sure about that, but I don't want to disappoint him either.
Maybe you should tell him that you're the best in class. And also tell him that you're a champion swimmer and always come first in all the sports activities. And that you always win all the debates and elocutions.
Tofu, I can't do that. Not all of that is true.
Yes, but most of it is.
Oh boy, you're acting like the miller.
The miller? Who is that?
Come, let me tell you a story. Rumpelstiltskin. Once upon a time, the king called the village miller to the court. The miller went there with a mind to impress the king by any means possible. And so when he was presented in front of the king, he lied that his daughter, who was an excellent spinner, could spin gold from straw. Oh, that's impressive. I order you to bring her to the castle tomorrow, and she will spin gold for me. The miller goes back home and tells his daughter what he'd done.
Oh no! What have you done, father? I cannot spin gold. I don't think anyone can.
I know, and I am sorry, my child, but there is no way out of it now. You must go to the court tomorrow and spin the best you can.
Yes, father.
And so the girl went to the court the next day. Your father tells me that you can spin gold out of straw. In that room there is bale of straw. I give you till tomorrow morning. You must spin it into gold by then, or you will lose your life. The miller's daughter had no choice but to do as told. She went into the room and locked herself in. As the night wore on, she didn't know what to do. There was no way she could spin gold. Afraid that her father's lie would get her punished by the king, she started crying. Just then, a strange little man appeared in the room.
I know what bothers you.
Do you?
Yes, and I can help you. I can spin the straw into gold for you.
Oh, please, do it then. I beg of you.
What will you give me in return?
I can give you this necklace of mine.
Okay, I will spin for you.
And so the little man got to the spinning wheel and started spinning. Within an hour, he had converted all the straw into gold. He then took the necklace from the miller's daughter and went out of the window. The next morning, the king came into the room. Is my gold ready?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Very good. Now I have another test for you. The castle's barn is full of straw. You will spin all that straw into gold till tomorrow morning. The miller's daughter was taken to the barn. Once alone, she was again surrounded by worries. She didn't know what to do. Soon it was night. Afraid of the king's reaction, she started crying.
You've got a barn full of straw for yourself today.
The girl looked up to see the strange man from the night before.
Yes, and the king needs it to be spun into gold by tomorrow morning.
What will you give me in exchange for it now?
I don't have much, but I can give you this ring off my finger.
The
man took the ring from her and started spinning the straw into gold. The next morning, when the king saw the shining gold, his greed increased.
Very well. The castle has yet another barn, bigger than this one. If you value your life, you will spin all the straw in it into gold by tomorrow morning. If you succeed, I will marry you and make you the queen. And if you fail, off with your head I'll have. Once again, the king had left. The girl was taken into another barn. It was bigger than any room that the girl had ever seen, and so full of straws. She broke down as soon as the king's men had left. She knew she was surely doomed now. When night fell, the little man appeared again.
Need my help again, is it?
Yes, please. Please spin the straw into gold and save me.
Well, I could do that. But what will you give me now?
I have nothing left to give you now.
You could give it to me when you have it.
Yes, I will. Tell me, what can I give you?
Your firstborn child.
The girl gasped, but thought, who knows what may happen in the future? It was wiser to save her present. So she agreed.
Okay, I will give you my firstborn child.
The strange man happily got to spinning the straw. When the king came in the next morning, the whole barn was full of glistening gold. Happy, he announced his marriage with the miller's daughter. Soon a year passed and the new queen gave birth to a baby boy. The boy was only a day old when the strange little man appeared in her room once again.
It is time to settle your debt. The boy is mine.
Oh no! Can't you forget this debt?
Never.
Please, there has to be some way. I will give you gold, fortunes, whatever you want.
I only want the boy, but I will give you 3 days to guess my name. If at the end of the 3rd day you can guess it right, I will leave you and this boy alone. If you can't, the boy will be mine.
As soon as the man had left her room, the queen called her trusted soldier and ordered him to gather every name he can find in the kingdom. The soldier set on his mission immediately. The next evening, he came and gave the queen a list of names. When night fell, the little man visited the queen again.
Do you know my name?
Is it James? Or Jack? Well, is it Richard? Or Kenny?
She continued with all the names she knew and the names that the soldier had brought back from the village.
No, no, no. These are not my names.
But the little man said no to every name.
That is not my name. I leave you now with 2 days left to find what it is.
The queen sent her man out yet again to go to the farthest corners of the kingdom. Till then, she read all the books she could find, hoping that one of them might give her the man's name. The next night, when the man came back, she gave him the names her soldier had brought back and the ones she had collected from the books.
Is your name Casper? Sheepshanks? Tommen?
None of them.
I leave you again. I will come back tomorrow to take away the boy, because you won't be able to guess my name.
Once again, the queen implored the soldier to go out in the kingdom and find her a name. The next evening, before the little man would come, the soldier returned to the queen with some news.
My lady, alas, I could not find any new names in the kingdom and its neighbors. However, last night, after I left the castle, I came upon a clearing in the forest where I saw a strange little man danced around the fire. He sang a strange song too. She can search the land, she can search the sky, but a name like mine she will never come by. Rumpelstiltskin, that's me.
The moment the queen heard the name, she knew it was the one. She happily waited for the strange man to come visit her.
Have you found my name yet?
Oh no! I can only wonder what it can be. Is it apple tree? Myrrel? Or maybe Rumpelstiltskin?
How can that be? This is some sort of sorcery. How did you know my name?
The moment the strange man heard his name, he became very angry. He shouted and stomped around the room. In his anger, he stomped so hard that there became a big hole in the ground and he fell into it towards his death.
I wonder if the queen ever told her father about all this.
We will never know, but we do know that trying to impress people may get us into big trouble.
Oh yes, That lesson I've learned today, and I don't think I will ever forget it. Thanks, Tia, for this wonderful story.
Let's go home. Why are you wasting time? How come you always want to do something good for others?
Tofu, what goes around comes around. If you do good, good will come back to you. And if you do bad, bad will come back to you.
What do you mean?
Let me tell you the story of a little boy called Pinocchio. Pinocchio. Once there lived an old carpenter called Geppetto. He had no family and was quite lonely. Since he was quite poor, he would find leftover wooden logs and create something new out of them. One night, he found a large wooden log and took it home. Throughout the night, Geppetto worked on the log. And carved a young boy out of it. By the time he was done with it, it was morning.
My, what a beautiful boy I have made. I wish he had a heart. Then he could be my son and I would call him Pinocchio.
A good fairy who knew that Geppetto was a very nice man overheard him, and suddenly the wooden boy spoke up.
Hello.
Geppetto was surprised but overjoyed. He hugged Pinocchio and told him that from that day he was Geppetto's son. Geppetto arranged for Pinocchio to go to school. To buy him his books, he sold off his dear chisel.
Now you can go to school like a real boy.
One morning, as Pinocchio was going to school, the evil puppet master stopped him. The puppet master wanted to own Pinocchio so he could use him to earn lots of money.
Hello, Pinocchio. Do you want to go to the Fun Island? It is a wonderful, magical place where you can become a real boy.
Pinocchio was overjoyed at the idea of going to Fun Island. He quickly started walking with the puppet master. The good fairy who had been watching over Pinocchio suddenly appeared. Seeing her, the evil puppet master ran away, leaving Pinocchio alone.
Where are you going, Pinocchio? To school, good fairy.
Just as Pinocchio said the lie, his wooden nose grew longer.
That isn't the way to the school, Pinocchio.
Afraid that he had been caught, the boy decided to lie again.
It is a new route.
With the second lie, Pinocchio's nose grew even longer. Now he was very sad and started crying.
I am sorry. I won't go to the Fun Island. I will go to school.
Seeing how sorry Pinocchio was, the good fairy did her magic. and turned his nose into its normal size again. Pinocchio thanked her and dashed off to school. Once he reached school, he told all his friends about the fun island. All his friends decided to go and see this magical place. What they didn't know was that the magic in Fun Island was evil. It turned little boys into donkeys.
Oh no! We are in trouble! Everybody, run from here!
Just as the boys were figuring a way out of the island, Pinocchio saw Geppetto swimming towards the island. He had been looking out for Pinocchio all day. But to Pinocchio's horror, before Geppetto could reach him, a whale swallowed him up. To save his father, Pinocchio also jumped into the sea and went straight into the whale's stomach. There he saw Geppetto.
Pinocchio, my son.
Father, are you okay? How will we get out of here now?
Well, we must tickle the whale from inside till it throws us out.
And they started tickling the whale's stomach. Soon the whale sneezed and threw both of them out. Pinocchio helped his father and all his friends to get back to the village. The good fairy had been watching him all this time.
Pinocchio, I have seen what a good boy you have been, jumping into the sea to save your father like that. Hence, I am giving you a heart and making you a real boy.
Pinocchio and Geppetto were overjoyed. They hugged each other and thanked the fairy as Pinocchio really turned into a real boy. Do you still think that doing good is a waste of time, Tofu?
Oh no, never, Tia. From now on, I will always do good to others.
For your favorite rhymes, stories, and more, join Kids Hut family. Subscribe here.